Train Manager tips. These are tips for the online video game Train Manager, which is very similar to Airline Manager 4 and Shipping Manager. Okay, so I am going to start from the top. We're going to start over here. You see over here there's a dollar amount, and it goes into finance. This shows all of your income and expenses and your summary. So this is where you find out about how much money you're making. You look at your departure income. And because I don't have enough spot capacity, I have to depart more than once. I have to do a depart and then a second, a third, and a fourth. I have to do 4 departures every time I do it, and I have to rebuy the fuel. And the way you do it all at once, obviously, is to have larger capacity. So there's obviously marketing over here. Marketing will earn you more money. Your reputation is over here. My advice is don't use the Fair Dodger campaign. There's someone who analyzed it, and he reported that you don't earn more money by doing it. And the reason why is because if someone's a Fair Dodger, they pay a fine, so it really doesn't matter. So you're going to do the general reputation campaign. What I usually do is adjust the reach up to the maximum amount, and then I do start campaign, and I do not change the duration. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work for you, but what I'm saying is that for me it doesn't work because I do 2 departures, and then you can only do so many departures because you have to sleep also. So if you do the maximum amount, let's say 48 hours, well, how many departures are you really going to get? I might do 4 or 6. If I pay this amount, I pay $30,000. If I do 4 or 6 with this, I'm only going to end up paying $7,000 or $9,000 because you're only going to do it 3 times. Stock exchange. This is how you do a IPO. You have to do an IPO. It does the valuation of all of your assets, and it tells you how much you have to pay, and it gives you a ticker symbol. You'll notice that it doesn't show the value of my stock after I do the IPO, which should have been included, but they did not include it. It has a points cost, which I thought was weird because I'm pretty sure it didn't have a points cost last time I did it. But this is just for fun. You're not really going to make any money doing it. With Airline Manager 4, I made more money departing all of my planes once than I did doing the stock market for like 3 months. So it's kind of a waste. So over here you're going to have the online help, the frequently asked questions. Unfortunately, there's not enough. You have a lot of questions that aren't going to be answered over here. And then you have your account settings. There is something to optimize the performance. I don't know how it works or not. You want to accomplish these items. One of them says changing the speed. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've played the game. There's something that you can do that adjusts the speed of the game, making it 4 times faster. See, it says 4 times speed for 4 hours. I got this for free, either on this game or on Airline Manager 4, but you have to do it before you depart your trains. If you click the claim button, it takes effect immediately, and it only changes the speed for what you will depart in the future. It doesn't change the speed for what's already departed. So you got to watch out for that. A lot of these are really good, and the good ones is when you get a big discount on a train. There are some of them where you get a train for like half the price, and they're good trains. So over here it says create a second route, get a 50% discount on your next purchase of the Wei Zhao Pu. And looks like I've claimed everything. So I'm not going to be getting anything else new unless they add it in the future. So with bonus, there's no option to purchase anything, which is sad because there were some things that I wanted to purchase, and I don't know how to add points. It says over here, for example, international license or freight operations. I have no idea how to get it because it doesn't allow you to make, actually, maybe you can't do a payment on the PC, but you can do it on a cell phone. So my advice is don't get the freight operation and don't get international license. You want to start with a large country, which is what I did. You don't want to do a small country. So a large country is going to be the United States, China, Russia, India, and of course there's going to be others. But if you go into Europe, you're going to have a small country, and then it's going to be a little difficult. So over here you have your company. None of this information is really useful. And then your staff is just basic. You know, once in a while I increase their salary. I haven't hired a consultant yet. I am going to do it, but people say it's a waste of money, and it looks like a waste of money. 15 points is way too expensive. And then the high score obviously doesn't mean much. So over here you've got the freight option. My advice is don't take it. You want to just get as many passenger trains, and once you max it out, then you consider freight, and you can increase the number of trains that you have. For example, for 1.3 million, I could get another 10 slots. These are the routes, and you're going to see the track network. There's really nothing interesting to see here. One other thing that bothers me is you'll never see the demand, or you maybe only see the demand when you create the route, and that's the only time you see it. In terms of trains, I suggest you avoid the circle lines. This one says circle line operation only. It's a waste. You're going to get bored with it. They go too quickly. You got to kick it off every 15 minutes. They don't make a lot of money. There's certain trains that are going to be good. You want long distance and high passenger capacity in general. I only depart a few times a day. If you're departing constantly and you're checking all day long, maybe a faster train would be good. So you see this one has 422 kilometers, and this one's got 660. I would take the one with the 660. It's a longer range and higher passenger capacity. You probably want to mix the electric with the liquid fuel because of your spot capacity and your fuel capacity. Right now I am buying this one, the Kasu, which has 525 passengers and 950 kilometer range. And the reason why is because if you look at your map, you can see what trains are the short trains. Like this right here is a short line. This one here is going on a short route. It's not going the full length of the route. It's stopping right here because the train doesn't have a long enough range. And you cannot refuel. So here's an example of a train that has a very long range coming from New York. So what I'm doing is I'm adding more trains with a longer range, and I will sell the ones with the shorter range. You want to know what the average is and buy fuel below the average. The average is 4,000. Anything under 4,000 I would buy it at. And the same with the spot. Know what the average is and buy anything under the average. Because I have to do 3 departs, because I only have a low capacity because I got a lot of electric trains, I got to buy whenever I can, and it's always got to be full. With this, if it's full, I can depart all my gas-powered trains. And then in terms of wear and tear, it's got to get up to 80% before you are required to do the repair. And you can modify, which means you can make it so that it carries more passengers or goes a longer distance or uses less fuel or goes faster, etc. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.